All right, take two. We're going live with Roads Yet Traveled. Do you think you can change the world? No matter who you are, you only can do so much. You have so little time to make a difference. Even finding a road worth traveling can be hard. It can look winding, erratic, endless. Sometimes it makes more sense to never even start. They say taking the first step is the hardest part. I can't count how many first steps I've taken. But maybe these steps wouldn't be so hard if I'd slept last night. I mean, come on. What kind of pompous-ass professor assigns these kind of questions before the first day of class? I've barely moved in and this guy wants 10 pages. Ugh. Well, I'll have to make it up to him later. Maybe I'll have time to scrape something together between classes. If I even make it to class. Where the fuck am I? Taking a look around, I realize I might have gone the wrong way. I pull out the brochure I got during orientation to check. Looking at the well-illustrated but poorly designed map of my new campus, I notice I've passed some verdigris-ridden statue. I wonder if it's supposed to be one of the founders or just some rich graduate who donated enough to be memorialized. I don't want to go check, though, as it's surrounded by freshmen right now. If I had to guess from here, I think it's just some graduate. To end this is you.
What do you think you're good for? You think yourself to be a god, immortalized in bronze? Look upon my work and despair, ye mighty.
I swear I knew that quote at one point. I can't do this right now. I'm late enough as is. I pick the least crowded walkway and amble forwards. Flipping further through the pamphlet, I see some fun activities I could attend later. There's a game night, a club fair, and a mixer of some kind. I can't wait to not go to any of those. Damn it, no. I should go, I guess. I was fucking miserable at that last college, and it was probably for this reason. I really need to try this time. I'll see what I can do. And if I end up crawling back to my room, well... solitude sometimes is best society. That's later, though. I've got to stop getting distracted. I have a class to be late to. Looking at one of the buildings, I see some signs and start following them. I swear, any place this poorly laid out must really want its students to be late. And who puts the dorm and the cafeteria on opposite sides of the campus? My college did. Not that I even had time for breakfast. But still. What am I even doing here? This is what, the third? No. Fourth time I've managed to get into some random college. I feel less and less confident I'll stick around long enough to graduate. Hell, at this point I'm worried I won't last a semester after getting another job. And with my less than stellar work ethic. And how is a half-baked literature degree going to do me any good anyways? I knew I should have tried harder and, applied myself and... Never mind, now I just sound like my dad. I wonder if I should have texted them. I forgot with how everything went these past few days. They dropped me off and I kind of just... I'm not sure they're home now. Well, I'm sure they're home now. I'll just call them later. Still, sometimes I wonder if I should just stop and...
Twin?
Oof.
In my senseless pondering and blind meandering, I accidentally bumped into a building that looks shockingly close to the one of the little drawings on my map. I do a double take just to make sure. Oh, well, I guess I did end up finding the right building. Sure sticks out way more now that I've actually seen it. The building in question is the newest on campus, and despite looking ancient, it's apparently some huge new science department. I heard it's been a big draw for the school, mainly for the labs or something, and the interior is supposed to be in stark contrast to the exterior. Something about finding an inner meaning in all things or whatever. I'm, of course, just here for one of the lecture halls. I guess even the lowly English majors are allowed in, if we stay in line. I won't complain, though. The rest of the campus is a bit more run down than I'm used to anyways. I saw some buildings during orientation that didn't even have air conditioning. Ugh, I'm dreading having class in those. Okay, that's enough staring at the building. I should actually get inside before I'm too late. Although, I find myself unable to move. I end up just standing off to the side, in the shade of some old trees.
Am I really doing this?
Dejectedly, I inspect my little map with its embarrassing mascot and colorful logos. Go Bulldogs. Or whatever. I feel out of place, even though I've been through this so many times. First day jitters, I guess. When you think it would get better and I'd feel less nervous, it doesn't, and it feels more pointless. I wish I could just stop. Maybe find something I was good at and stick with it. I've been dragging this major around like a ball and chain for so long, and it's gotten me nothing. 3 failed attempts later, and yet, what else do I have to crawl back to? My retail job? An empty bedroom in my hometown? Everyone I know has already moved away. Except me. But I don't have a better answer, nor do I have the drive or the capital to do anything else but keep whatever this is up. Guess I best just get on with it.
I'm not even going to last a day at this rate. Being a junior at 25 is so embarrassing. At this rate, I won't graduate until I'm 30.
I huff and puff, but once my little tirade is over, I move along. I finally find the front doors and head up the small staircase inside. It seems quiet. Maybe I missed the class rush. I ponder hopefully as I reach the hall doors. Turns out, I was not so lucky. I open them to see a mess of people headed every which way. Too many people, in fact. Oh man, I didn't know this place even had this many students. Where were all of you at orientation? I try to head inside, but almost get knocked over by someone barging through.
Hey!
I look back, but they're already gone.
Jackass.
Last class must have just gotten out. This sucks. I've never been good with crowds, even though I've been told I blend into them quite well. Not really sure that was a compliment in retrospect. Oh well. Getting a bit further into the building, I realize this may be a bit more than I had anticipated. Maybe I should try and find an empty hallway or just anywhere I can be alone for a second. Scouring the halls, I can feel my skin writhe as eyes are unintentionally drawn to me. And I know I'm not being stared at, but it feels like I'm being stared at. I see it. A perfect place to be off to the side and just take a breather. I manage to slip through the crowd and duck behind some awkwardly placed lockers at the end of one of the halls. Phew, salvation. In the form of a really weird nook? Not the weirdest place I've had a panic attack. At least I can be alone here for a second. I'm definitely starting to feel a bit jittery. I'm saying I believe this is your line.
What kind of character is Chief supposed to be?
See, it hasn't been revealed yet, but I'm pretty sure it's Chief, so go with the old guy.
Well, okay, just old guy?
Yes.
3.
Not too old. There.
Oh, 3.
I feel like I'm being trapped. Watched.
2.
Did it suddenly get colder in here? Surely I'm just... Did the hallway change when I wasn't looking? I guess I must have been so distracted trying to get away from that crowd that I didn't notice I walked into the labs. Great. Now I'm just lost again. Damn, I really should have had breakfast. I feel super lightheaded. Hopefully I'll have time after class to get something. Surely there's a cafe or something nearby. I start heading down the hallway, my little map still in hand. It's slightly weathered from me grasping it so hard. The poor little mascot drawing is all crumbled now.
I probably shouldn't destroy this thing. Might be the only way I can get back to my dorm.
Let's adjust the music volume real quick. I slip it into my pocket as I come to a corner. It's really quiet all of a sudden. I guess everyone is in class already. Everyone except me. I'm late to my first class. I can't say it's the first time either. I really need to get better at managing my time. Not a great way to make a first impression and all. Trying to get my bearings, I check out the nearest door.
I know I'm looking for a room 240L. And I know that this looks like gibberish. I'm no expert, but I don't even think this is a language.
No, this is the science department. Maybe they have fun names for the classrooms or something and use symbols instead. Hey, that's kind of cool, actually. Shame I'd never get into a science major. It's a literature bust for me. Oh man, it's bust, isn't it? I just stand lifelessly for a few seconds before shaking it off and reaching for the door handle. Only to realize there isn't one.
Oh wow, they really did go all out, huh? Oh, I know.
I pull out my student ID card and try touching it to the pad a few times. Nothing happens. I up the card reader to see if there is a way to swipe or insert my ID. Giving it a few inquisitorial pokes in the process. Nothing. Well, no harm in knocking, I guess. I raise my hand, and before it even reaches the door, it slides open. I'm a bit shocked, but also, damn, that was cool. I hope the literature department is half as good as this. I peek inside and see some students standing around a table, all in huge white lab coats, looking very proper and clean. Don't think they heard the door open. Must be really busy doing sciencey stuff. I gather the courage I need and speak up.
Hi there, guys. I'm a bit lost. Mind me telling me where room 240L is? First day and all.
Their ears prick up. Wait, what? Ears? As they turn to me, they are much larger than I thought they'd be. Also, they look like dogs. Does the school have a drama club? They must use this room for costumes or something. Yeah, just really nice costumes with realistic fur and moving eyes. They're staring at me. I snap out of it. I don't like this anymore. I think I'm gonna go anywhere but here.
Bye.
I duck around the corner and start power walking to the opposite direction. I hear what can only be described as barking behind me. My sneakers are thundering on the hard metal floor. Am I running? When did I start running? I'm not stopping now. The hallways all look the same. Did they always look the same? No, I'm sure they didn't. Where are the windows? Where are the bad motivational posters? I don't think I'm in the labs anymore. Rolling around the nearest corner, I bump into someone. Or rather, something. I think I knocked them over. I gather myself a moment before looking down at them. If the phrase deer in the headlights ever meant anything to me, this is it. I think time has stopped. I might have skipped breakfast and I might be a bit lightheaded, but I'm not delusional. That is a dog in a lab coat. Our eyes meet and I realize they're staring at me, returning my stunned expression. This can't be real. My heartbeat reminds me time stops for no one, and I dash off in the other direction. From behind me, I hear a shaky, "Wait!" It's enough to almost stop me in my tracks. Did that thing just talk to me? Did I understand it? No. Just keep running. The adrenaline in my veins is allowing me to sprint far more than I usually do. Morning jogs be damned, I'm running for my life. Maybe? As if things couldn't get any worse, red lights paint every inch of the hallways and alarms blare overhead. I have a sinking feeling those are for me. And if I wasn't panicking earlier, now I am. I really don't think this is the labs anymore. Hell, I don't even know where I am. I turn a corner and see more of those things looking around. I try to sneak a peek at them. They seem to be talking, but I can't hear them over the alarm. They've forgone the lab coats and are wearing sleek outfits with a uniform jacket. And if the jacket wasn't enough to clue me into what their jobs might be, the weapons they're carrying sure do. One's brandishing a worrying-looking baton, while the others have guns of some kind. My heart rate spikes. This can't be it. I can't be here. This can't be real. While I was panicking, I noticed one of the walls has a panel removed. Maybe for maintenance or something. It doesn't matter, and I don't care. I decide to make a dash for it. I hear some barking behind me. I think they heard me or saw me. It doesn't matter. There's enough room to where I can crawl through. Anything is better than this. I hear footsteps pounding behind me. They definitely saw me. I try to quickly duck into the opening, but a clawed hand, paw, reaches in and grabs at me. Come here! It grabs furiously before nicking my left arm with its claws. I wince. I think it got me. I think I scream, but in a haze I can't tell. In its fury, it grabs one of my backpack straps, yanking me back a bit. The grip is far too strong to break free from. I manage to wriggle out of my straps and get into the small tunnel before they can recover. I really hope they can't follow me in here. I don't dare turn back and check. I dodge under the narrow pipes and around a corner into a barely lit and claustrophobic hallway. The hallway gives it too much credit. This is only an intentional crack in the wall, but it's enough. I shimmy forward, hoping with every step I can find a way back from this madness. Out of the rabbit hole. or whatever. It's a tight squeeze to get through the mess of pipes and cables parading as a hallway. I wince as I breach the other side, reach into my arm only to find my shirt snagged on a pipe with a torn left sleeve. There's also some weird red oil on it, and on the pipes I passed. Oh no. I'm just being daft. I must have cut myself on the pipes. The guards definitely didn't have claws, and they definitely aren't giant dogs. Yeah, no, this is just fatigue. I'm just imagining it. I must have wandered off into some still under development part of the new building and gotten chased off by the guards. And now I'm in the walls, bleeding, trapped like a rat. Well, I'm not going back, that's for sure. While this moment's respite does allow me to clear my head, it also clears some of the adrenaline from my system, and the pain comes back.
Ah, damn it.
I clasp my hand to my arm where the cuts are and press tight. I think you're supposed to do something like that. Close enough for now. As I do, I hear something akin to grumbling behind me. My eyes shoot open. Realizing I hadn't checked my surroundings before my little pause, I whip my head around and examine the rest of the hallway. And after my eyes adjust to the darkness, I see something. Someone. Sitting on some metal jutting out of the wall. It's hard to make out, and I decide to get closer. I shouldn't have. It does no good for my psyche to see that this is... To see that... I think that's a typo. To see what this is. In fact, a dog in human clothes. Despite my panic, I'd take a second to look them over, trying to convince myself they're fake. And that it's just a suit. Anything. In my inspection, my eyes are quickly drawn to one of their arms. Either I'm seeing things, which feels possible at this point, or it's entirely made of metal. Watching their chest move up and down calmly and rhythmically as they sleep does nothing to assuage my pounding heart. A cool blue light emanates from their mysterious arm. My broken and terrified demeanor contrasting their calm and resting state. I hear more footsteps outside. I must be close to an exit of some kind, maybe another one of those wall panels. I bet I can slip out. Although I don't see an exit anywhere. I see next to this, in canine, there's a bag of tools. Some that look immediately identifiable, and some more, let's say, alien in nature. Well, I've never been into construction or engineering or whatever. They're probably just normal tools, right? I reach for the most analogous thing to a wrench and try to silently sneak it out of the bag. Spread out! It couldn't have gotten far. My nerves of steel give out the second I hear that from behind me, and I panic, knocking the whole damn bag over before scrambling to pick up what I was reaching for. I finally managed to get it out of the jumbled mess of unknown tools, but it's too late. Looking up from my fumbling, I'm met with a confused and wide-eyed stare from the creature that was resting up moments ago. A few slow blinks are exchanged by both parties before it mutters. All-Star, this is you.
Am I still sleeping?
Well, I've never heard these things speak before, and actually seeing it up close makes me jump back. Wrench raised in a pathetic attempt to look intimidating. While still dazed, the canine in front of me realizes this and jolts back. All by a bit too fast and dings their head on a pipe.
Ow!
And they yip in a less than intimidating manner. What is intimidating, though, is out of reflex or intention, and they decide to stand up, dwarfing me by over a foot. Ears not included. In the process, they incidentally get closer to me than I'd like.
Back up!
I shout as I aimlessly swing their wrench at them like some cornered beast. And if they weren't awake already, they are now.
Hey! Whoa! Be careful! What are you?
Stay back! I'm warning you.
Their eyes display no understanding.
What are you saying?
What do you mean, what am I saying? How am I the crazy one here? Take a few steps back. I'm cornered whether I know it or not. And they take a step forward.
Can't you hear me? I said stay back!
With one last pathetic swing, I'm thrown off balance and I slip backwards towards the wall. The canine's eyes open wide, not in fear, but in panic.
No, wait! Those panels aren't done being installed!
Their words do not stop my descent as I slam into the thin wall, and taking it down with me. My head is spinning, and the blaring lights and alarms are not helping at all. I must have knocked out whatever panel they were working on. And it takes me a second to come to my senses. I drop the damn wrench and manage to stand up. I feel like shit. I look up and notice the dog standing in the opening, looking at me almost worried? I don't take time to dwell on it as I turn to look both ways down the hallway. One end seems to have a few dogs in lab coats frantically looking this way and yelling. The other way seems clear, though. I decide to make a break for it. I'm definitely not running as fast as I was, but running at all is a miracle right now. Then, something turns the corner. One of those security-looking dogs. They look unarmed, but through the haze in my eyes and the red lights, I swear I see their face illuminate in a sickly blue. Zev, this is you.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Zeph might be having mic issues.
No.
Anyone want to briefly stand in?
Petri, stand in.
Everyone...
Sure. There you are.
Oh no. I try pivoting the other direction. Maybe I'll be better off passing those other dogs. I use all the energy left in my exhausted body to try and cover any ground at all. I hear my footsteps. I hear my heartbeat. Then I hear something that makes my heart skip a beat. Their footsteps. They're close already. I can't get away. I see the tool I dropped earlier and manage to snatch it up before they're upon me. Maybe I can defend myself or something. I turn and my heart stops. Bounding towards me and just a few feet away is another Doberman. Far more intimidating than the last. I don't even have time to breathe. I just flinch before I'm knocked to the floor.
Wait, no! What?
I open my eyes and look around. My head is in a total daze. I'm in class? Oh, thank goodness. I must have just made it to class and passed out. Those crowds really get to me sometimes. I breathe a sigh of relief. And I go to scratch my arm and wince.
Ow! What?
Pulling my hand away, I see there's blood on it. Oh no. Maybe I still got cut in all of that? I did almost get knocked over before coming into class. And surely there's a reason for all. I realize I've been sitting alone this whole time. And this isn't the lecture hall. And this isn't even my school.
No, please.
Panic doesn't have time to set in. They spot me in a heartbeat. Piercing blue eyes shoot through my very being. This is it. This is how I die. He lunges. I scream. I scream. Startled awake from my horrible dream. To be confronted with a horrible reality. A horrible reality with a blanket covering me? This is definitely not my dorm.
Hello? Where am I?
I'm taking a quick look around the room. It seems to have some general furnishings like a desk and a chair, a bench coming out of one of the walls, and a little nook that appears to be a bathroom. This might actually be nicer than my dorm. Wait! I can't be having thoughts like that now. And shaking myself awake, I try to sit up only to realize just how damn sore I am. It's hard to even shimmy to the side of the bed. And to add to it all, I'm shirtless all of a sudden? Giving myself a quick once-over, I find that my pants are still on, although my pockets have been emptied. And in lieu of a shirt, I have some bandages on my arm and my head. I managed to stop myself from touching them like an idiot. Better just leave them how they are for now. And not that I'd wear shoes to bed, but I realize those have gone missing as well. An uneasy panic sets in. Where in the world am I?
Hello?
I repeat louder. I manage to swing my legs over the edge of the bed. The cold floor causes me to shiver. After managing to stand up finally, albeit with some wobbling around and catching myself, I realize this room is missing something. Something crucial, in fact. There's no damn door. Walking along the edge of the room, scouring it for any kind of crack or seam or anything, I realize that there's just nothing. I bang my fist against the wall.
Hello?
There's still no response. Discouraged, I sit on the edge of my bed and just try to put my thoughts together. None of this makes sense. How did I get here? Where even is here? Why are there giant dog folk just out and about? I'm really hoping the giant dog part was just a hallucination or something. Unfortunately, I'm having a hard time convincing myself of that. I have to calm down, even just a bit. Just focus on my breathing. I think some therapist recommended that. It's been so long since I've been to one. It feels like hours pass, although it's probably been far less. I found myself jumping at every little inexplicable sound. And there must be something behind these walls. I can feel it. That feeling of being watched. But I don't see any cameras. I remember seeing a sink in the corner and decide to splash some water on my face. And maybe get a bit of a drink while I'm there. I've done nothing but sit and try to not completely break down. I need some water. The sink seems fine. It runs cold enough. Speaking of, this whole place is a bit on the colder side. Maybe it's just because I've been relieved of my shirt, but still. Cupping my hands, I'm able to get a decent drink. It doesn't taste like anything, which means it's water. Probably. Looking at my hands after, I see some nicks and bruises, and a bit of blood still stuck under my fingernails. I've been better. Fortunately, before my train of thought can get darker, I hear some muffled sounds coming from another wall. It sounds like talking? I try to figure out where it's coming from before setting my eyes on the wall opposite my bed. And creeping over, I manage to hear that it's definitely talking. But I can't make it all out. I assume this is you.
What are you? I hurt them. You. Well, some.
Sev?
Sir?
What?
They stop for a few seconds. Sounds like there are two, maybe three of them out there. I put my ear up to the wall and listen.
What is it doing?
Can they see me? I look around for cameras, but nothing in the room or the wall sticks out as one to me. There's a sound like a mechanical door opening outside, and I can hear a new voice enter the room.
Guess
Who's
it
doing
is-
Marrowyn? Yes, K9, this is you.
Okay.
Sorry I'm late, sir. I've never had to come down here before.
Beautiful.
I thought you
I
knew the
thought-
entire.
Oh, shit, sorry.
This is Icewind.
I thought you knew the entire station. Never mind that. Eric, can you let us in now?
Station? Am I on a military base or something? I guess that would explain the lab coats and armed guards. I hear some clicking coming from the other side of the wall, as well as some muffled grumbling, before suddenly... The wall isn't a wall, but a window. I scramble back, tripping over myself in the process, and land right on my backside. Looking up, I'm met with 3 dogs staring back at me, all with varying expressions. In the middle and directly ahead of me, there's a shorter and older dog wearing a smart-looking lab coat and tie combo. Their expression is one of pure awe, as if they just discovered something amazing. And maybe they have. To his right is a massive St. Bernard-looking dog dressed in what I can only assume are some form of doctor's scrubs. He casually towers over the rest of them. I'd be intimidated by his sheer size if he didn't have the most disarming grin on his face. And we lock eyes for a moment, and his smile only gets larger. The last dog in the room gives me no such favors. As I turn to my right to face him, I realize who it is. My eyes narrow and my heart rate picks up. Him. I scramble back to my bed and shield myself with a pillow. He just rolls his eyes and scoffs.
Look at that. You and your team have terrified the poor thing. We'll be lucky if we can manage any kind of communication with it now.
Yeah, that's great. Just doing my job. Hey, so I go now, Chief? Gotta make sure there are no more of
He gestures at me.
these things around.
Finally having a chance to listen to this canine's voice, it has an interesting sound to it. It's not all just barks, I guess. It's gruff, but not intimidating. Right now, at least. He sounds like he's been trained how to speak properly, like in the military or something. Maybe not how to act properly, though. Knowing now I'm not crazy and these things do indeed talk, I turn to the other two to see who this chief is.
Now, Marruk, your team is scouring the whole station. And I'm sure they'll do an excellent job terrifying anything else they find. So just stay a while and make sure we don't have any issues here, would you?
The chief's voice definitely clues me into his age, if the gray in his fur wasn't an indicator enough already. Marruk just grumbles and sits on a bench on the other side of the window.
While I am glad our medical team clothed the thing, I do think it would be more advantageous to actually see what it looks like in its natural state.
What are you talking about, sir? I think the team just bandaged it up or something. They didn't put those pants on it.
Wait. You're implying you found it clothed running around the ship?
Yes. There wasn't some naked creature running around the vents scaring our crew. Didn't you read my report?
Marruk, you of all people should know how important yesterday was for me, and
As I watch these two bicker at each other, my eyes are drawn to the massive, unmoving saint in the corner of the room. He hasn't made a move since I first saw him. Still just staring and smiling. It's a bit more unsettling now that it's been going on for so long. Finally, he speaks up.
Chief, I can summarize Security Chief Saris's report for you.
Still not breaking eye contact.
An alarm went off in the advanced research sector after multiple reports of an unknown being roaming the halls. After finding the creature in the vents, it was subdued by Marruk himself. The creature sustained what we believe to be minor wounds and was detained. It showed an aptitude for tool usage, evasion of capture, and logical thinking. Also, it's watching us.
I fucking love your voice. He punctuates his speech with a warm smile and points to me as the other two look on. I can't help but look back at them. They seem shocked that I'm at least following the flow of the conversation.
Oh my, you seem to be right.
The chief pats the mountain of a saint on the back and walks closer to the glass.
I wonder if this is the result of my... no.
Sounds like I just missed something before my arrival.
It's entirely possible, sir, but there's no way to tell right now. Not until we've run all of the data fully. And even then, who knows what it will tell us.
Yes, of course. Well, let's not worry about that right now. Marruk, in your report, you did say it could speak, no?
Well, it did more screaming than speaking. But, well,
Well, what?
Sir, what Marruk is trying to say, the head of maintenance, Director Tiran, corroborated that it does indeed seem to speak some sort of language. Although we do not know what.
I guess Director Turan was that dog I encountered in the walls yesterday.
Ah, yes. I did see him being questioned yesterday. Interesting mechanic, that one, but hard to find sometimes. We'll bring him down here. Maybe he can help us.
I don't know if that's necessary, sir. I mean, he only saw the thing for a moment. No need to bother him, right?
Nonsense. I'm sure he'll be of great help. Schedule him to come by sometime, will you?
No one moves, and then the saint just nods his head and turns back to me. Maybe there are more dogs off to the side taking notes.
Oh, that's later. Let's enjoy this moment. I mean, look at what we have here. Just fascinating. I would love to hear it communicate. I truly can't believe we might be making first contact here.
First contact? Oh no. Am I the first other sentient being the species has met? Oh, I am not making a good first impression. Well, I guess they aren't really either. And putting me in the cell and all. Either way, I decide it's probably high time to come out from under my pillow and say something.
Hello?
All of their eyes widen, even Marruk's, as they stare at me. I try to stand brave and strong-looking, and crawling out from behind the pillow. But being even shorter than the chief, I don't think it's working. They turn to one another and look a bit confused.
Can you understand me?
I ask with a small wave. And still nothing but beguiled looks. I don't remember taking lessons in barking and growling, so why the hell can I understand them? I guess I should just count my blessings that I can for now and worry about why later. They do seem a bit disappointed. Well, I'm not sure what they expected.
Any ideas, sir?
What? Oh, just thinking. Give me a minute. It just spoke up now, yes?
Yes, sir. Didn't you hear it?
Yes, I did, but that's not what I meant. I mean, it spoke up only after I said how much I'd love to hear it speak, no? Maybe it was just a coincidence, but we should try some simple questions, and
He's cut off by a beeping noise. And raising his wrist, it's revealed he's wearing a bracelet of some kind. It seems fairly innocuous until a small screen appears in front of it. Be up there for one of the coolest things I've ever seen, if I wasn't scared for my life right now.
Oh my, some numbers are coming through from the... Well, you know. I know how monumental this is.
Gesturing at me.
But this is my life's work. I must go, you understand.
Of course, sir. Marruk and I can handle this.
Wait. What do you mean, Marruk and...
Thank you. I expect a full report when you're done.
Of course, sir.
The big saint says with a smile and a nod as the chief leaves, affording me one last look.
Fascinating. Isn't it?
I can't see the door as he leaves, but I can hear it. There's a moment of silence between the three of us, as if all the life in the room just left. I'm gonna say we take a break.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Need some water.
Ooh.
Break core.
Just a quick 5-minute break.
I couldn't comment on it. I mean, besides me like screaming in the text chat, but that opening cutscene was like the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, holy cow.
Gorgeous.
that
I was
that
actually
animation
so-
was
Signal's core.
crazy.
It was
What
very
a way to make a
Signalis core.
good first impression.
My,
Yeah,
my
really.
eyes, like my jaw dropped, my eyes shot wide open. Like that was incredibly
right?
cool.
And the cool part is, Cryptid did that all himself. Single person project.
What?
Oh my
He's got a
god.
master's in computer arts. So 3D animation, composition,
Wow.
and animation.
Props
Yeah,
to
no,
him. For that.
That's
Holy
crazy.
shit.
I could definitely tell that was made by someone who studied animation and not was just like a little like, oh, add that in. Like, that was like practice. And like, I want to go back and I want to like look at it again and study it.
Yeah,
because
same.
it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
totally.
Mhm.
There's a YouTube video of it uploaded from
Yeah. I
when
saw
someone
it,
on
I was like,
Echocord was doing it. It's really.
Sheesh.
I'll send the YouTube video. It's really good. I love it so much.
That's amazing.
Yeah, holy. So cool.
So what is the story called?
Roads Yet Traveled.
Lit.
In the
I'll type it
initial
out, too.
announcement, Jackson did put a link to the itch.io. If you want, I can go find it and pin it for you.
Yes, please.
Alright, just give me 1 minute, please, and I'll get right on that.
The art's also extremely charming. I love all the character
It
sprites so
is.
far. Mhm. And the background art's gorgeous, too.
Background art's like fucking amazing. I think it's probably like one of the best I've seen in a VN.
He's really.
Yeah, the
he's
background art
really
is
trust
truly
me, the
beautiful.
backgrounds just keep getting better and better from here. It's
Oh,
insane.
That's
Right.
crazy.
Alright, there you go.
And yeah, VJ, this is still like the beginning of the game.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, I was afraid that I joined in like a little late.
No, you're right at the beginning.
Yeah. You came just in time.
That's why I messed around a little bit with the with some of the mic settings, and I hope that I'm not too loud, and I hope that I'm.
You're
not too
very
you're fine.
quiet, actually.
You're kind of
For
quiet,
me.
yeah.
Mm,
Mhm.
actually, very quiet. Yeah.
Zev, I love the Marruk voice you're doing too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chief's
Mhm.
voice. Everybody's voice has been fantastic.
Yeah, everyone's doing super good.
Thanks.
Putting your
Yeah.
whole pussies into it. I love it.
Honestly, though, I want to give like special shout out to Twin. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
Twin.
Yeah, the little efforts.
Yeah, really super
Hell
good.
yeah.
Like,
All right, so if anybody wants to swap off, now's the time. If your voice is tired, or you want to give someone else a shot, or what have you. But if not, we will continue in a minute.
Anyone wanna change out with me for Saint Bernard guy, or like anyone want to do him? Because again, I'm here to be a backup. So if y'all want him, by all means, take him.
I also want to.
What are you
I say.
I mean, in real.
My man.
Real. I
My man. He's not wrong. He's not
He's not
wrong.
wrong.
I'll admit, I walked into that one.
That'll be
Yeah,
an
no,
interesting
I
decision
wanna-
because there is a root split.
Oh.
okay.
Oh, so are we gonna like
would
vote
have,
or what?
A hot chocolate with that Saint
Oh, we'll
Bernard
vote.
right-
We
right
will
by the
vote.
fireplace, absolutely. Have a hot chocolate with some marshmallows and shit.
Can we
We love them
I'd
all.
like
can we
that.
make it? if we're gonna vote, can we make a stipulation that the people who voice the characters, a character and interchange between the two, they're not allowed to vote for their own character?
That's probably best.
I'm very interested to see how the vote goes because, in my personal opinion, all three of the characters are excellent, and trying to choose one of the routes to do is so hard. But the benefit is there's a lot of crossover. There's a lot of crossover.
Oh, I've seen some VNs like that. That's really good then. Like there'll be equal screen time anyway.
Yes, everybody gets pretty equal screen time, but there's moments that change here and there, as well as stuff at end of days.
Yeah, Dobermans.
How many chapters are there?
Look at his ears right now.
So right now there's 11 days worth of content. The word count sits at or a little bit above 100,000 words.
Ooh, that's pretty sizable.
It's fat.
Oh.
This definitely sounds like the kind of VN that I'd come home from class to, and then I'd just read for like 4 hours, or at least until dinner time, and then I don't know, maybe read some more until I fall asleep. Yeah.
One of my favorite visual novels.
I did that with Far Beyond the World.
Yikes!
It kept me busy.
We were all there.
Yeah. At one point or another. Kept me busy. I mean, come on. I already had all my assignments done. You know, I had some spare days.
I feel you. I was the same way. Okay.
Gentle reminder: this is being recorded, so be careful with what you say.
Yeah, I had all my assignments done. I had a few spare days, and I haven't discovered VR chat yet, so there's nothing for me to worry about, right? So I spent the next several hours reading that shit for the next.
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair enough.
We shall go ahead and get
started on weekends.
Before we get too distracted.
So are we changing out VAs?
Honestly, since you guys haven't had much chance to voice yet, because we're just getting into the characters, I'd say maybe we switch next time. We do a switch off next time.
I would, but I actually really like what you're doing with the voice K9.
It's so good,
Aw.
K9.
Yeah,
I
it's fantastic.
I am fairly practiced because this is basically the voice I use for a different VN character.
I saw who in chat.
Yeah, so I can.
Yeah, I saw too, and I approve.
It sounds super.
That's the voice you use for that character, then that's perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll keep it up then.
Okay. We will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fortunately for all of us, the one named Marruk ends our discomfort.
He's not going to read that report, you know?
Oh, he reads my reports. Just not yours.
Punctuated with a wink.
Whatever.
Guess these two are acquainted? I still have no idea who they are, really, besides some honorifics and their names. Well, one of their names, anyhow. The large saint approaches the wall.
Well, one of us has to get some work done around here. Mind letting me in?
Aren't you worried about getting contaminated? I spent like 4 marks getting tested by the emergency team.
The saint just turns to him and raises an eyebrow.
What are you? Oh. Damn it, right, I forget sometimes.
That's the point, you know.
Yeah, well, it works. Anyways, you know where to stand. Try not to let it out.
While the saint waits, Marruk pulls up a screen on his bracelet, and part of the wall opens up. It just slides away. And once the wonder of the sliding wall fades, I realize I'm about to make close contact with another one of these massive canines. And my muscles tense up as I go into fight or flight mode. And the expression of the saint changes. If only very slightly. There's no way he noticed that, right? It barely flinched, but still. I guess I gotta be careful. He steps inside, and the door closes behind him. Then he proceeds to sit down on the nearby bench and mess around with his bag. I decide to keep my distance, so I sit on my bed and watch. Only slightly hiding behind a pillow this time. He's very calm for someone who is sitting in a room with an alien. Wait. I guess I'm also sitting in a room with an alien, although I'm decidedly less calm. He's still calmer than when I woke up, though. I guess it can't be helped. This new dog might be huge, but he's very disarming. A gentle giant. I hope. While he's pulling out some, by the looks of it, medical equipment and other unknown tools, Marruk decides to get up from his bench and saunters over to the wall.
You know, Doc, that thing is pretty wily. I'd be careful if I were you.
Oh, I'm in so much danger. I need the big and strong security chief to come and save me.
Yeah, but I'm serious. The thing took up a wrench and tried to hit me.
I know, I read your report. Director Tyrann's too. Fascinating, isn't it?
Wayne. I'm already under pressure as is. This really isn't helping.
You're fine, Marruk. You've been through worse than this.
Yeah. Whatever. Why the hell are you in there anyways? I doubt it's just gonna sit all nicely for you. Why not just knock it out and run all your little tests then?
Knock it out? I'd rather not be knocked out again or at all, please.
Marruk, you can't be serious. I'm already mad enough at the emergency team for suggesting the use of anesthetics on them. Let's not make it worse, alright?
Fine. Just watch out, okay? I'll be right here if you need me.
The saint just grunts in acknowledgement. He takes his time double-checking every little tool he pulled out of his bag before turning to me. Our eyes meet, and he smiles. He then proceeds to pat the seat next to him. He can't be serious. And Marruk picks up on this too.
Doc, he ain't a normal patient. I don't think he's gonna just come to you.
Well, I can't go to them without scaring them. But I need these tests done. We didn't get great readings while they were asleep. It might not understand us, but it's clearly sentient, just scared. They will to come to me. Just give them time.
Marruk doesn't look convinced. I'm not sure I'm convinced either. After being chased down corridors and slashed by claws, it's a bit hard for me to just approach one of these things. But now they see I'm sentient, so surely that won't happen again. Right? This sucks. My mind is racing every which way. And after about a minute of panicking and second-guessing myself, I stand up and slowly head over to the bench, against my better judgment. I eyeing up both of the big dogs on the way, making sure they don't pounce on me like last time. Marruk seems surprised I moved at all, but Doc just has the same smiling exterior. I really hope I didn't make a mistake here. Not that I have much of a choice in this situation. It's either, go over to him or make a pillow fort and hide forever? Tempting, but I don't think I have enough pillows. I sit down a few feet away from him, almost falling off the edge of the bench, and slowly turn my gaze towards him. He's even bigger up close. He must be almost 8 feet tall. How is this going to work? Getting a physical from another species that doesn't even understand me or what I am. Doc slowly offers his hand. Huh? For me, resting palm side up. My gaze rapidly shifts between his massive paw and his face. Offering it to me or Is he offering it to me, or does he want my hand in return?
This poor thing's terrified. The chief was right. It'd be a miracle if we can get its trust.
Hey, don't blame me. I was just doing my job.
Don't remind me.
After taking a few deep breaths to steel my nerves, I decided to just get this over with. I've always hated waiting at the doctor's office anyways. I slowly reach up and put my hand inside his paw. Unfortunately for me, he was still busy bickering with Marruk, and I ended up surprising him as he jumps back a bit, causing me to flinch backwards as well. I immediately pull my arms into a defensive position.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
A crack appears in his ever-present smile as he seems genuinely worried, and putting his paw back out slowly. Much lower this time.
Oh no. No. Please, don't tell me I ruined my one chance.
My palms are sweaty as I knead my balled fists, staring down this massive beast's paw. Believing that they're just in fact here to help me is substantially harder than I'd like. And after convincing myself that I'm not crazy and this is somehow the best course of action, I oh so slowly return my hand to his paw. I can't help but gently squeeze one of his fingers. It's warm and unbelievably soft. They really are just like big dogs. And if there was any doubt left in my mind about these things, it's gone now. They are real. He lets out a sigh of relief, as if he'd been holding it back since he walked in here.
See, Marruk? Maybe you should try being nice sometimes before just tackling everything you see.
Hey, first off, I'm great at tackling things. Top of my class. And next time I find an intruder on the station, I'll remember to be nice first. I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Did he just make a joke? I can't help but scoff. I'm surprised he has a sense of humor. Guess I don't really know the guy very well, besides his tackling prowess, which I can unfortunately attest to. Noticing that Doc has an inquisitive look on his face, I realize I responded to another comment I had no right understanding. Did he really pick up on that, though? He does seem smart, but still, that's a stretch. He has me up a bit more before reaching over with his other arm and pulling out some bracelet-looking thing. Oh, probably to check my blood pressure. Wait, what good is that going to do? He has no idea what my blood pressure is supposed to be. Maybe to get a baseline? I hope he doesn't expect me to tell him what a normal blood pressure should be. He pulls his paw back and pantomimes putting his device on his wrist. It seems eerily similar to how it'd go at a normal checkup, but I won't complain.
I'm going to put this on you and make sure you're healthy, alright? It'll squeeze, okay?
Doc, what are you doing?
Even if you can't understand us, it's important to explain the procedure. I can only act it out so well. Also, I'm recording this for posterity. Anyways, its heart rate seems to have gone down, so that's good, probably. Who knows xenobiology would be so hard? Well, maybe it'll be calm enough to get some blood samples.
Wait, my heart rate? How the hell can he tell that? He hasn't even put the wrist strap on yet. Is that just a canine thing? I know there are dogs that can do something like that. It's impressive, albeit a little bit creepy. Wait, did he say blood samples?
Alright, anyways. I'm gonna put this on your wrist. You'll feel a bit of a squeeze, okay?
He's repeating himself, as if talking to a child, as well as acting it out again. I suppose that's all he thinks he can do to communicate, so I just nod in response. His eyes open wide, and he hikes up an eyebrow.
20.
Can you really not understand me?
I ask, laying out my arm for him.
Note for recording. That was the patient. At time of recording, I'll assume that was an affirmative of some kind, as it has allowed me to take its blood pressure.
Yeah, I'll take that as a no. I wonder if I'm better off with charades. I hate how that might actually be a good idea. Maybe later. I just want to get this impromptu appointment over with. And after a short procedure, the wristband comes off.
Patient calmly allowed me to take their blood pressure. We'll assume this to be a baseline for future tests. If slightly alleviated, perhaps.
This would be a really bad way to find out I have high blood pressure. Also, I suppose with no other humans around, I wouldn't be able to tell anyways. I try to laugh it off. While I'm in my own head, Doc pulls out a stethoscope that looks eerily similar to one you could find on Earth, and turns back to me.
We'll now attempt to listen to and record the patient's heartbeat as best I can. If I can locate the heart. Assuming the patient has one. For note, the patient only seems to have fur on their head, removing the need to move it out of the way.
He edges slightly closer to me and slowly reaches his empty paw out.
I promise I don't want to hurt you. I just want to make sure you're nice and healthy, alright?
I almost laugh at his attempt to calm me down. It's sweet, but ultimately unnecessary. Although I am feeling a bit calmer, oddly enough. I mean, I'm still trapped, but at least they sent this guy in to treat me instead of Marruk. That would be much more physical. At this rate, my heart rate might actually be decent for him. After shuffling forwards again, he makes eye contact with me, as if asking me not to jump back or lash out. I stay calm and let him continue with what he has to do. No need to prolong it. It does come to mind, however, that while I have made physical contact with these canines before, well, one made contact with me at ramming speed, I've not really had a chance to fully study them up close. I'm grateful to find out that they aren't all intimidating. Or maybe it's just Doc. He's massive, but so gentle. I can feel how warm he is, his breath on my arm, his fur brushing against my chest. It's certainly disarming, if nothing else. And after leaning in and putting the cold stethoscope on my chest, he mumbles to himself.
Real quick, out of character, I think VJ needs us to pause, or is that reacting to something?
He's reacting to Ice Fame being horny.
Okay, apologies. I thought
Oh, sorry.
I needed to stop real quick.
No, you're fine.
No, you're fine.
It's hilarious.
Alright, apologies. Back into character.
Attempting to ascertain the location of the patient's heart and take a reading.
He fumbles about for a bit trying to find it, poking and prodding, but never quite getting it right. I'd be embarrassed for him if he wasn't so alien. I decide to just reach up and guide him with my free hand, grabbing the back of his mighty paw and gently delivering it to my heart.
Oh. Thank you.
It only takes 2 beats of my heart for him to realize what just happened. He jolts backwards, falling off the bench. I flinch, worried something has happened. Marruk jumps up and rushes to the wall.
What the hell, Doc? You okay? I'm coming in.
No! No. I'm fine.
Oh, what the hell were all the theatrics for, then?
I just realized what the chief was implying. Oh dear. Oh, this is...
What are you on about?
Marruk! It's following our conversations. Its movements and gestures are not random at all. It understands us.
Marruk looks confused, as if he's uncertain that he wants to believe that could be true or not.
That's a joke. Right, Doc?
He doesn't respond. I'm just glad we might actually be making some progress here. I was worried I would have to wait weeks to get anything across. I guess I got found by some damn smart dogs. Marruk excluded. Doc slowly gets up while eyeing me warily, as if I might attack at any second. And musters the courage to ask.
You can understand us, right?
I simply nod. Both Doc and Marruk take a second to compose themselves. And I guess that was quite the bombshell to casually drop. It's surprising to me too, but so is everything here. I hope I wasn't a mistake letting them know I can understand them. Although, with how our earlier conversation was going, it seems the chief might have figured me out already anyways. Maybe I can ask for a shirt soon. And to be let out of jail. Small steps. Doc blinks himself back to reality and sits down next to me. I don't think he knows what to say.
Marruk, it should go without saying that everything that happens here is confidential. Correct?
Yeah, of course, Doc. I'm the one who interviewed half the people who saw this thing. We know the captain doesn't want the word out yet.
Captain? Like military rank or like boat captain? We're on a ship? I guess these questions will have to wait, but it seems there's some higher powers than just the chief.
For posterity, and to make sure that wasn't just a coincidence. Please nod again if you can understand us.
I'm a bit confused, but I guess not as confused as them.
Yes. I understand you.
Doc turns to Marruk, who looks equally as confused.
Don't look at me. You're the scientist here.
This is well beyond my purview.
Well, do something. You know what my skill set includes, and this ain't it.
These two really like going at each other, as if they were an old married couple in some cheesy sitcom. A sitcom I'd watch back home. A hole suddenly forms in my gut. Home. Where the hell am I? Did I even get a chance to say goodbye? Oh man, not now. I'd really rather not cry in front of these two. Unfortunately, the resident walking heart rate monitor seems to have picked up on this.
Oh dear. Don't worry, we aren't fighting. Marruk and I just, enjoy getting on each other's tails is all. Oh, this is so confusing. I suppose I should introduce myself then? My name is Marrowyn. Dr. Marrowyn Seno. But most people just call me Marrow. Or Doc. Mostly Doc. And, that's Marruk Saris, our head of security, if you haven't picked up on that already.
The saint really is trying to live up to his namesake, huh? He thought I was worried about their squabbling and tried to calm me down. Best doctor I've ever had, that's for sure. I take some deep breaths to compose myself. I point to myself. Let's go with default name.
Tucker.
Doc seems very excited and tries to repeat my name. I wonder if what I'm saying and what they're saying sounds different. Like, they're obviously aren't speaking English, so why do I hear it like they are? And can't they even repeat a word I've said in English back to me? Would it have a funny accent, or would that get translated too? Wait, is it being translated? This is too much to wrap my head around on an empty stomach. I look down and grab my stomach, only now realizing how hungry I am. And I haven't eaten since last night, and who knows how long ago that was. I'm so disoriented I don't even know what time it is. Focus. One issue at a time. That issue is lunch. I realize that Marrow has just been watching me. And fortunately, I think grabbing one's stomach seems to be a universal language.
Hey, Marruk, have we brought any food for our guest?
Food? No, you were the first one in there since it woke up. What are you supposed to eat anyways?
Well, I guess we'll find out. Mind going and picking something up? A variety if you can.
Yeah, I'd love to, Doc, but I ain't really supposed to leave it unguarded. Let alone leave you locked in there with it. I know you think it's fun and all, but it could still be dangerous.
I appreciate your concern, Marruk, but I'll be fine. Anyways, we can't ask anyone else to come and get us anything. So few people even know what's really here.
Marruk looks between the two of us. Not worried per se, more just concerned. Whether for himself or Marrow, I can't say. In the end, he sighs and capitulates.
Alright, fine, but I've got to be fast. Can't afford to stand in any line, so sorry if it's not the best selection or whatever.
That's fine. Just the best you can. Thank you.
With that, he nods and heads out. But not before eyeing me up as a bit, as if to say, don't try anything. Trust me, in a fight between a 160 or so pound college student and a massive dog alien, I think I could call the winner.
So,
He looks worried. I guess it is concerning that I can understand them. I see it as beneficial for now. Maybe I can figure out some of this madness a bit faster this way. No idea how I can get them to understand me, though. Maybe charades is the best strategy I have to go with right now. Marrow manages to arrange his thoughts and continue.
Now, this may be a bit awkward after, well, everything. But I would appreciate it if I could still finish my medical examination, if that's alright.
Alright. We were kind of in the middle of a doctor's appointment, weren't we? While this will do nothing for me, I'm sure there are dogs here just begging to get this information. Doc probably included. I suppose it couldn't hurt. I nod and he lets out a small sigh. At least he seems grateful. It's nice he asked first. I wasn't even thinking about if I had a choice or not. The rest of the appointment was fairly routine. Well, mostly, anyways. He checked my ears, my mouth, my eyes, and there was some less than routine parts. Like when he tried to see if I had a tail. Or inspected my head and asked why my fur was so short. Or when he inspected my hand and tried to inspect my claws. It was nice feeling his hand, though. The pads aren't quite like skin. But they aren't as rough as normal dogs. His claws still freak me out a bit. And as long as they aren't being brandished at me as a weapon, I think I'll be fine. He continued to talk to himself throughout the examination. He's very diligent, I suppose. I wonder what he'll say about me in his write-up. I noticed there are only 2 tools left out of his bag. A roll of bandages, and a large, pointy-looking device. Right. He did say he wanted to take some blood samples. And I'm suddenly unsure if I should have allowed this examination to continue. Doc seems to have noticed the dip in my attitude. Or maybe just the change in my heart rate. And put 2 to 2 together.
Oh. This? I promise I'll make it as bearable as possible. But it would really help us out if we could get even the smallest sample from you. When we found out you were sentient, and not some naked creature running around, I stopped the emergency team from taking samples while you were unconscious. It felt wrong. Of course, now that does mean you have to be conscious while I take them. I'm sorry. But I saw it as the only acceptable course of action.
Wait, what? It's surprisingly thoughtful that he'd go out of his way for for my well-being and rights while knowing so little about me. But that's just it. I'm an unknown to them. I go out of your way to do all that. It seems like an inconvenience for them, and maybe now me as I stare down the needle. But I suppose he truly meant well by it.
Thank you, Marrowyn.
Right. Well, before we deal with that, I'd like to change your bandages, if that's alright.
I simply nod and let him redress my wounds. They don't look as bad as I thought they might, but I do see now that I have a few stitches on my arm. Actually, on closer inspection, the cuts look fused back together. I wonder if it'll leave a scar. Probably not.
Ugh, I will have to talk to Marruk about this. They really did a number on you.
After redressing my wounds, Doc gathers all his supplies and arranges the last few pieces needed for my little medical.
Alright. Would you be okay if I were to try and take a sample of your blood? I promise I'll make it as manageable as possible. I'm an expert. Well, on my own species, anyways.
I can't help but laugh. I don't know if he's trying to tell a joke, or if it just came out that way. I definitely don't want to do this. But he's been so considerate that I'm willing to give him a chance. I do hope he's an expert, though. I'd rather not get stabbed more than once. I lay out my arm for him, assuming that the act of taking blood is similar across all species. A poor assumption, but he seems to catch on well enough. Taking some kind of clear liquid, he swabs down a small section of my arm with one giant finger. A disinfectant, I guess. I'm still worried about the prospect of using alien medicine on my body. Not that there's a threshold for dying to alien medicine, but the less the better for now.
Oh, well, this is far easier without fur. Attempting a non-invasive puncture of the subject. Locating a vein by eye is far harder without the proper scans. We'll need to schedule those when possible. Probable vein on forearm. We'll attempt there.
He stops monologuing to himself and looks to me, gently grabbing my arm with his free hand.
I'll do this the best I can. I promise.
I can do nothing but trust him at this point, and so I close my eyes and turn away. Waiting is always the worst in these situations. Then, there it is. I can feel the needle pierce my skin. I'm still looking away, but I hope he got what he was looking for. I'd loathe to do this again. Then, as soon as it started, it stopped. I slowly open my eyes and turn back to him. He takes a small red vial out of the device and gently places it in one of his pockets. I hear the door sliding open. I guess it's lunchtime. I rub my arm a bit. It's barely even sore.
There, all done. I hope that wasn't too bad. It's impossible to gauge how patients will react to this kind of procedure. But you sat very still, so thank you.
He stands up and moves a large paw over my head before stopping himself with a blank face.
Doc? You got in there?
He snaps out of it and pulls his hand back, adjusting his overcoat.
Yes. Of course. Right. Lunch. What did you bring us?
No idea what that was about. Maybe something was in my hair. Anyways, I'm curious to see what these things eat. And I guess what I'll be eating. It's only now crossed my mind that dogs on Earth either eat raw animals or dog food. So I'm pleasantly surprised to see plates of food that looks almost recognizable. I walk closer to get a better look.
Ugh.
No way.
Damn it! I forgot about the see-through wall stuff.
Marruk, don't laugh. Are you okay?
He puts a paw on my back to make sure I don't stumble over.
Yeah.
I gently push him away and approach the wall again. More carefully this time. I see now there are lines on the floor indicating where it is, as well as it's not entirely translucent base. It's smooth to the touch, like glass, yet silken. Finally able to look outside, there isn't much to see besides Marruk's bench and our lunch, which happens to be quite nicely laid out over 2 trays. I guess he was really hungry too. There seems to be some kind of soup, a salad, a bun, some crackers, some rolled up things, and some kind of meat, maybe? Well, at least he didn't skimp on the variety. Oh, and a glass of what I can only assume is water. That's good. I was getting worried I would have to drink out of the sink again. It's also still on the other side of this confounding see-through wall, so I'm not really sure how this is going to work. Fortunately for me, Doc is already a few steps ahead, standing where the door should be.
Now, I'm going to go get your food. Please stay where you are, all right?
Ah, right. I'm still a bit of a prisoner, aren't I? I nod and step back a bit before Marruk messes with the device on his wrist and the wall retreats, allowing Doc to retrieve the meal for me. Maybe for us? I doubt I can eat everything there. Fortunately, it's a short affair and Doc is back with my lunch. And my only exit closes behind him. Guess any thought of escape is a bit silly, especially with Marruk right there. I'm not really looking to be tackled again anytime soon. My stomach growls. Right. Food first, existential dread of being imprisoned by giant dogs later. Now that the tray is actually in the room, I realize the food actually smells pretty good as well. Like something homemade and hearty, but with a hint of something I can't put my finger on. Not really what I was expecting. Doc sets the tray in front of me and I'm first drawn to the crackers. It's by far the most boring option, but it seems like the safest bet. Although in truth, I have no idea. This could all just be poison waiting to kill me. Suddenly struck with fear, I look to Doc for guidance, only to find his face portrays a worryingly similar expression. I guess the same idea hit him as well. I give him a few seconds before he notices me staring.
I'm not really sure what to offer you here. I could list out their ingredients and health benefits and even give their chemical composition. But I'm not sure that would help you. Let's just be cautious and take this away.
He removes the meaty pate looking thing.
And maybe, this?
And then the tray with the bun.
Oh dear, maybe these too.
There go the rolls. I can tell he's trying hard to make sure nothing here will mess with me. Although in truth, he has no way of knowing either way. I'm just worried there won't be any food left. I'd rather be safe than sorry, but I have to eat something.
Dog. Just let the pup try something.
We're both a bit shocked to see Marruk standing over us, leaning on the wall. He seems to be eating some kind of burger or sandwich. It's got foil wrapping and all. Wait a minute. What did he call me?
Hey. I'll have you know I'm an adult.
I yell, mockingly shaking my fist at him. He just scoffs and rolls his eyes.
I suppose Marruk is right. I can't guarantee your safety if you try anything. And I'm sorry for that. I could run some tests, but, well, let's maybe just take it slow.
Well, I'm not really reassured this won't be my last meal. I don't see any other options. Well, besides cannibalism. But I think it's a bit early to gnaw my own leg off. Nevertheless, I still decide to start off easy. Maybe too easy as I eye up the glass of water. Really have no idea how to tell if it's just normal water or something else. The water from the sink tasted normal, but who knows? Could be corroding my insides right now. That thought notwithstanding, I can't think of anything on Earth that doesn't drink water. Although whether or not I'm still on Earth is another issue. Sniffing the water does nothing but draw a few strange looks from my hosts.
It's, water. You do drink water, right? Dihydrogen monoxide?
Glad to hear some things are the same around here. Once I've had a drink, I take one of the crackers and inspect it. It looks like a saltine, but breaking it in half shows it's flakier and less brittle.
That's a common snack for us. It's more empty carbs than anything, but sometimes that's all you need.
Well, here goes nothing. It's bread. While there's a hint of sweet herbal seasoning, it's still fairly bland. And all it has going for it is the soft texture. And when I don't immediately start choking, I decide to finish the one I'm holding.
Maybe we should stop here, wait until anything happens? That way, if anything does, we know you shouldn't eat those again.
While I agree with Marrowyn's logic, I'm hungry now. I don't really relish the idea of only eating what is essentially bread and water for the foreseeable future. That was kind of already what I subsisted on back home. I simply shake my head, no, and reach for the salad. He looks worried, but doesn't stop me. Sorry, I had to sneeze.
You're all good.
It seems Marruk was right in that regard. Kind of best to just get it over with. I don't remember the salad being so purple back home. But that being said, when was the last time I had a salad anyway?
Well, I'd like to say that's a common dish. I always advise our crew to eat well. I find more often than not that humble greens are ignored around here. That one in particular, though, does look a little barren. Marruk, which cafeteria did you go to?
Lower decks was the closest. Did you want me to splurge on a special order? For this?
He gestures at me. Guess this facility or station or whatever is big enough to have multiple cafeterias.
Well, no, but that salad makes me want to verify we're meeting everyone's dietary needs.
It's fine, Doc. Kept it simple since it's for them.
Oh. I suppose that was a safe assumption. Thank you.
That's kind of thoughtful coming from him. Maybe he's not just some muscled up jerk. I should probably get to know the guy before... I should probably know the guy for more than a day before judging him. Although he did tackle me. And knock me out. Well, his job is to worry about security. And right now my job is to try this salad. Taking the first bite is pretty disappointing, but I mean, I guess I should have expected as much. It's just a bunch of leaves. The aftertaste has a nice kick to it, though. Doc just seems glad I'm not choking or breaking out in hives, which is fair. I'm sure he'd hate to lose a patient to culinary roulette.
Oh, this is one of my favorites.
Marrow announces as I reach for my final dish.
It's a traditional broth, and it's pretty much exclusively made with vegetables. But I've seen some variations with meat instead. This one looks fine, though. It was created a long time ago by farmers for colder weather. But these days it's served all cycle.
The soup has a beautiful bronze oil floating at the top, separate from the rest of the broth. A single unidentifiable ingredient rests on the bottom of the bowl. Bringing the bowl to my lips, I'm able to really take in the warm, hearty aroma of it. I'm glad it stayed warm for so long. Upon my first sip, I'm shocked by how spicy it is for something described as vegetable broth. Fortunately, it's not too much and I can enjoy the rest of the soup. The rest of the meal continues about the same. I slowly finish my 3 small dishes while Doc makes small talk and Marruk leers at me. Not the worst family dinner I've had. Once I've finished and put all my dishes on the tray, I yawn and sit back a bit. I just realized I have no idea what time it is. I'm looking around the room to see if maybe somehow I missed a giant clock reveals nothing of the sort. At a bit of a loss, I decide I might as well try to ask.
Doc, what time is it?
Those are about the expressions I expected. I try tapping my wrist. Maybe watches exist here.
Hmm? Oh, no, I don't have a monitor like Marruk's. Mine is, I must have left it elsewhere. Marruk, I think they want to see your monitor. Is that okay?
Well, it was worth a shot. But since Doc mentioned it, I might as well take this opportunity to check out his monitor, or whatever they called it.
Yeah, Doc, I saw. What should I do? I've got important information on here.
Just open it at least.
Fine, fine.
He lowers his paw to my eye level and feigns pressing some buttons in the air. Then a projection comes out of the bracelet. Wait, did he even touch it? I wonder if it can just tell where his hand is. I saw it from far away earlier, but I'm blown away by it now. It's like a real-life hologram or some kind of short-range projection. I can't even see any seams in it anywhere. It's like a band of pure bronze. It's even emitting a light. I've got to get one.
Alright, that's enough gawking at my personal stuff. Doc, it's getting late. Do you know the orders of dealing with... well, this?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? Can I go to my quarters? Who's guarding this thing tonight?
Marruk, you're the head of security. You're on security detail. I know we've never had to use these cells before, but we need them now. So please.
Marruk just seems to be grumbling to himself. Or maybe growling is a better word for it. I guess he's stuck with me? Or rather, I'm stuck with him.
I know you're tired, but you know how important this is.
Yeah, whatever, Doc. Didn't want to sleep in my own bed anyways.
Miro just sighs and turns to me.
Please, understand that keeping you in here is just as much for your safety as it is for ours. We just want to make sure it's safe for both of us before we can let you out. I hope the accommodations are enough. But if you need anything, you can try to ask Marruk and he will do his best to help you.
He throws a pointed side-eye to Marruk, who just looks away and scoffs.
When the time comes to get out, I'll make sure you can see everything there is to see around here. And get you a better room. But for now, it's getting late and I've still got some tests to run today. I'll be back tomorrow.
Thank you.
With that, he turns and heads for the door. I can't see him anymore, but I can still hear him.
Marruk? Are you... okay?
What's that supposed to mean, Doc?
Oh... nothing. Let me know if you need anything.
And the door shuts. Marruk sighs. It feels calm for a second. And only a second. He turns and punches the far wall.
Damn it! Thought I was fucking done with guard duty! can't believe I...
He turns and faces me, as if he forgot I was here. His expression is inscrutable. Anger, confusion, disgust, anguish? It's all hidden behind a scowl.
I can't deal with you tonight.
Ending the conversation before it could begin, he quickly hits an invisible button on his monitor. It flashes to life before my view is cut off. The wall is just a wall again. No fancy doors or giant window. Once again, I'm alone. In a white room, with nothing but my thoughts. And for a second, the idea of apologizing pops into my head. But for what? Maybe just an excuse not to be trapped again. I've been trapped all day. But only now does that reality creep back in, seeping in through the black shadows and the bone-white walls. The dread fact that I am indeed a prisoner. I have the scars to prove it. Moved by invisible strings, I shamble to the sink. I try to calm myself down a bit by splashing some water on my face. It works somewhat well until, after drying off, I lock eyes with the beast in the mirror. I look like shit. 2 sets of bandages, no shirt, bruises all on my arms and shoulder. I want them gone. I want all of this to just suddenly fall away. I managed so well today not to fall apart, not claw at the walls or fight my way to freedom. And yet, when faced with myself, I cannot manage. With a newfound inability to look in the mirror, I try to turn away before noticing something on my cheek. There's still water shining away, dripping slowly. My eyes are red, too. Oh.
Damn it!
I'm unsure if hitting the wall was the catalyst or not, but the tears really start coming. Managing to make it to the bed is more difficult than I'd like to admit. Almost stumbling over myself multiple times. I only hope Marruk isn't watching. Watching and laughing. Wait. Fuck him! He tackled me and knocked me out. Fuck all of this. Screaming into my now sodden pillow does nothing to assuage my mental tirade. But it's better than punching walls. I can do nothing more than curl up and cry. And for what has become of me. For what I've lost. They even took my bag and phone. I can't even call my family. Oh. Thinking about whether or not I will be able to see my friends and family again really isn't going to help me stop crying. What was the last thing I said to them? I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. Fine. I don't even want to be awake anymore anyways. It's doing me no good right now. The low whimpering and gasp for airs make it hard to stay focused on sleeping. But eventually, I managed to stop crying. After flipping the pillow over and getting under the sad excuse for a blanket, I try to find empty thoughts to fall asleep to. My last waking thoughts are of my first day at school, and of the classes I missed. And I think we'll call it there.
Yay!
That was amazing, guys.
That was really cool. Super cool.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah, great job.
It was amazing.
Y'all did awesome.
Yeah.
It was such a fun time.
Totally not gonna go to itch.io and download it for myself and probably spend the next several days reading it nonstop, you know? Totally not gonna do that.
That's the
I'm glad
idea.
it's got you hooked. No conjecture,
I mean,
it is one of my
there's this
favorite
one
visual
and
novels.
Cleaved.
I've been meaning to get around to it, and you know what? Like, I'm glad it was with the group, but like, this is so much higher quality than I could have imagined, and I keep doing this where like
They're
everything
getting
is so
better.
much better than I expect from like first viewing.
Quality
Yeah.
is insane so far.
Oh, yeah.
Glad
I was
you guys
not
liked it.
expecting a fully fleshed out animation in the end. That one actually
No one
knocked
ever
me out.
does.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
For me,
so
like-
cool.
Like little background changes, especially just in like the room.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a nice touch. And while I'm trying
Can't believe
to get my hand-eye coordination back on track, I'm kind of losing it. I really hope I'm not getting I really hope I'm not getting Parkinson's at such an early age.
Oh no.
An exaggeration, though, obviously.
I was like, is that possible?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I'm still a good.
you
still
can.
concerned
I mean,
to
you can
have.
develop it as early as like your mid-20s, I think. But
Patrick, you're
Oh
not
my
helping.
gosh.
Shout out,
Look,
Patrick.
I'm just saying there's more to it than hand-eye coordination. And I think
mean-
you'd probably be more likely to get struck by lightning first.
I'm actually glad we were able to get to day 1, though. I think at the pace we're going, we'll probably be caught up in like 11 sessions or so.
Yeah,
Hey,
11 seconds.
Jackson,
You
I
said-
think you're having a bit of an issue with like noise suppression, like automatically adjusting your gain, going up and down and shit.
Probably. It
It's
sound.
to me, it sounds like it's only really at the beginning when you're starting up the first word. It's like a engine revving a bit, but you're mostly coming clear to me.
That was a nice attempt at an engine noise, Petri.
What do you mean
Thank you,
attempt?
Petri.
You heard what I
Damn.
said.
Oh,
Success.
Oh, he just
An
he just
attempt.
wrote him off like that. Holy shit!
What kind of engines are you
Damn.
listening to? That's all I want to know.
I will see to adjust in noise reduction. Let's go down 3 decibels. Maybe just turn it off.
It
By the
also
way-
sounds like the noise gate's a bit generous.
I don't know what
But,
these terms mean, in all honesty.
So
It's the
what
thing
was
that stops
this,
transmitting you when you're not talking.
Oh, yeah, it's at negative 28 decibels right now.
So what was the MC going to study?
Literature.
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 Literature, net.
Literature.
Literature.
Well, for the next one that's going to university, let him be a little more intellectual now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's trying, okay? But
Literature.
real quick, I do want to ask real quick. So Jackson,
Yes.
I've been recording this whole time, and like you're gonna share this with like the server or the VN, yeah?
No, I'll DM it to him.
Okay. Like just real quick,
Mhm.
do you want me to edit it a little bit so that the first attempt's not there and we just immediately go into it, or would you want to keep that in?
Well, I mean, if it's not too much trouble, yeah, I could edit it myself though. If you just want to send me the raw.
I mean, honestly, I'm all right with editing it myself. Like, I've done a few like edits for other videos, and also, I ended up changing up the layout I have of things, right? Like early on. I hope that's all right, because like often how I record is that I have the chat on the side and then like the game on the other end, but I decide to like get full screen on the game instead.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
No,
I
that should be
change.
fine.
You do see me change it in real time, so hopefully it's not that jarring.
Should be fine. Thank you for recording.
Yeah, I think
And
it'd be
thank
fun.
everybody for coming.
Yeah, thank you. This is super fun.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah.
We shall
But that
attempt
really
another
was
session
exposure to the
next week.
Yeah, you had to get
Hey!
rid of it
Yeah.
somehow, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But I will also close out the recording now, so y'all can say bye to the folks watching.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Very fun being.